Hello and welcome back to my channel. I always appreciate you guys clicking on the videos and joining me in these conversations. And today I just briefly want to talk a little bit more about the continued protests that are going on in America right now, because as we know, it is no secret that political tensions in America have reached absolutely alarming levels where we used to be able to even passionately disagree with each other. We used to be able to sit down and say, it's okay that we don't see things the same way. At least on a fundamental level, we agreed that there were certain things that are right and certain things that were wrong. And there were certain ways to express your frustrations or your disagreements with either side of the political party. And then there were certain things that all of us universally agreed on were not okay. And in recent years, I feel like boycotting has definitely become a very popular way to let people know if you disagree with them or agree with them politically. And we obviously saw this happen with Bud Light when we had, this organization that came out and supported an ideology that the vast majority of America had already made known that they completely disagreed with. Yet for some reason, they ran full speed head first into this. And of course, using one of the most controversial figures at the time, which was Dylan Mulvaney. So, it's not that we wanted Bud Light to fail or that we wanted to see people's lives destroyed over this. We just said, we don't agree with what you're doing. And since you are demonstrating your disrespect for the vast majority of the country that does not agree with what it is that you're pushing, we're going to take our money and our dollars elsewhere. That is the form of protest that we are going to demonstrate against you. That's the kind of protest that I think a lot of us can agree is perfectly fine. We also agree that going out and writing your messages on a poster board and making it known, whatever it is that you disagree with or agree with that day. Those are the things that are known as peaceful protests. But what we're seeing now, as we know, particularly when it comes to the left, is the fact that they really feel like destruction is a valid way to channel their frustrations, and they don't hesitate to resort to it whenever they feel like it, especially whenever they don't get their way. And that is what we are seeing now with these Tesla protests, with these Tesla dealership burnings, with burning down charging stations, and even attacking innocent people as they're just driving around in these vehicles that they purchased with their own money, sending a message that they're willing to even put innocent people in danger if it sends the message that they feel they are justified in sending. And as as any of us, if we try to discuss this online, of course, we are met with justification from people on the left side of the political issues. They say that, Elon Musk did this to himself by aligning himself with Trump or becoming a schmatzi or whatever it is that the mainstream media has told them is justification to be outraged. So now this is they go from Musk is exposing the corrupt government, and therefore I have the right to basically shoot out the windshield of an innocent family driving down the street in their Tesla, or I have the right to spray paint a swastika on somebody's Cybertruck. Like, they've gone from this all the way over to here. And it is absolutely insane, and it is unhinged, and anybody with a speck of intelligence or humanity can recognize it for what it is. But today, trending on Twitter is the word boycott, because we are trying to help these people understand that what they are doing is not in line with a peaceful protest. It is never justified. And the actions that they are taking are illegal, they are dangerous, and they are not going to achieve anything other than pushing more and more people away from their side of the aisle. So one of the posts that I've seen a few people make, it says basically the same thing. It says, when the conservatives disagree with Bud Light, they boycotted by not buying their products. When liberals disagree with Elon Musk, they boycott by torching and vandalizing Teslas. We are not the same. But in order for leftists to justify what they are doing, they are circulating this ridiculous meme. It says, someone in a MAGA hat saying boycott Bud Light. Democrats, their Democrat persona over here remaining calm, which, as we know, did not happen. They were not calm when we boycotted Bud Light. The MAGA hat wearer says boycott Target, again, met with the calm face, which we know is completely untrue. Boycott the NFL, again, the Democrat persona remaining calm. And then the Democrat person saying boycott Tesla, and then the Make America Great Again hat wearing person crying and screaming. And obviously, this meme is just demonstrating that they truly think in their unhinged liberal logic mind that the two are the same, that the vandalism, the burning, the harassment, putting people's lives in actual danger is the same thing as what we did when we said, hey, Target, if you're supporting the mutilation of children or the ideology that has pushed so many kids into being confused about their gender unnecessarily, we're not going to continue to support your business. We're not going to come after your cashiers. We're not going to chase people down who are wearing your uniform in the street. We're just going to choose not to spend our money here. They literally think that that is exactly the same as this previous post that I just shared as this. They see no difference between the two levels of demonstration. And that is largely why we cannot have conversations with these people. But I just want to go back to this post really quick. It says, to the people on the left sharing this disingenuous meme, we know you like to change definitions of words to suit you, but boycott isn't setting cars on fire, buildings on fire, terrorizing innocent employees, and destroying people's cars. I didn't see Bud Light factories or Targets being burned to the ground. Sell your Tesla, don't buy from Tesla. No one cares. But your definition of boycotting usually leads to destruction, fires, and looting. And you still look in the mirror and think you're the good guy. It's amazing. But if you ever wonder where the left gets their justification from, it's because they have people like this speaking on their behalf. It's when they hear from people like this in the media, even though they consistently claim, I don't watch the media. Yeah, you guys are literally doing exactly what the media wants you to do. They want you to destroy this country. They want you to be their little minions and to do their bidding. But the difference is they're not going to be held accountable because they're not the ones actually igniting the blowtorch. You guys are. So you guys are the ones that are going to take the fall for exactly the things that they want you to do. So you are not the resistance by any stretch of the imagination. You guys are the minions. You guys are the lemmings. You guys are doing exactly what you have been programmed to do. You are not thinking for yourselves. But this is why when you have people like this that speak this way on behalf of the Democrat Party, this is why we have what we have going on. It's not because of what Elon Musk is doing. It's not because of what Trump is doing. It's because you have people in the media that say this is exactly the same. And if you want to burn something down, it's exactly the same as the parents who said, hey, stop pushing gender ideology with your beer cans because we're getting enough of this crap in our schools. We're already fighting this fight. We don't need it coming from this household brand that largely is supported by conservative buyers. Anyway, let's listen to what she has to say because this is where it comes from.
You guys know, I think Elon Musk has done a tremendous amount of good. I think Starlink is one of the more exciting modern discoveries or creations that there is. I, again, reiterate, I draw the line at arson. No one should be setting cars on fire.
But means ignore everything I just said. But means, I don't condone arson, but. And that is what the Democrats, these unhinged liberal leftists, wait for. They wait to hear that but, because that means what follows is the justification that they're looking for. The reason that they need in their unhinged, triggered brains to go out and set something on fire. Here we go.
I would argue, no, this is an important point. It's a free market point, but also we talked about Dylan Mulvaney, a single trans influencer who was on a single can of beer for months. And that can of beer set the conservative movement on proverbial fire, rooting against at least half an American company, the Anheuser-Busch side of things. Kid Rock out there doing target practice with Budweiser cans, people vowing to decimate that brand. And Dylan Mulvaney has much less of an impact on people's lives than Elon Musk does.
That is such a lie, because it wasn't just about Dylan Mulvaney, and she knows it. It was about this entire ideology. I mean, even to this day, I'm watching videos of these male athletes leave these track running female athletes in the absolute dust, being rewarded with these gold medals and these first place awards because they're running against girls. So the simplification of this ideology just absolutely makes my head explode, because that's not the point. And the fact that they're like, it's just Dylan Mulvaney, it was just this one time, it's just pronouns, why can't you guys just, let people live their lives? It's not that hard, because it has literally impacted every single aspect of American lives, and there are actual people suffering for it. Makes me angry. Let's let her finish, because I'm sure she's going to have something even more enlightening to share with us.
So is that okay? Or that was wrong too, and everyone wants to mea culpa over that? It was one can of beer with one transgender person on it.
No one was intimidated not to buy Bud Light.
Really? Then why did it drop?
No,
why did they lose market value?
Because it wasn't Dylan Mulvaney. It was the marketing person who denigrated the people who drank the beer.
Really, Dylan Mulvaney didn't get denigrated?
Because she did. He did. Sorry. I correct myself.
Yeah. Because people not liking Dylan Mulvaney is exactly the same as the people who are just driving down the street in their Teslas right now, being tailgated, being brake checked, having bullets fired into their windshield. It is not the same, and this is so incredibly infuriating. Just one more time so I can say it louder for the people in the back. Doing things like this, where it says Tesla dealership hit by gunfire for the second time, is not the same as me choosing not to spend money at Target and choosing to go to another store. Okay? Nobody was under gunfire under that situation. If you don't want to buy a Tesla, if you don't want to spend money with this company anymore, that is perfectly fine, despite the fact that, as we already know, Democrats were pretty much telling all of us that we were going to have to own Teslas in a couple of years. But, just another level of hypocrisy. Nobody cares. If you don't want to spend money there, that is totally fine. I mean, I will probably disagree with you and make fun of you for it. And you can make fun of us for not wanting to buy Bud Light or shop at Target or buy Ben and Jerry's or whatever. That's totally fine. But we're not the same. When you think that firebombing vehicles and attacking innocent people is a legitimate form of protest, that is terrorism. If this is something that you think is justified, you are on the wrong side of the issue. And no amount of, comments, justification, hashtags, talking points, or anything that you think that the right has been accused of is going to justify these actions. Because I did talk about this on TikTok yesterday, and somebody said, well, what about January 6th? Okay, so it's a flying leap to go from something that happened 4 years ago. Mind you, whenever they point to like violent incidents of conservatives, it's like, remember something that happened 5 years ago that conservatives did? Whereas when we talk about Democrat violence, it's like, remember that thing that happened like 5 minutes ago and 20 minutes ago and like 27 times yesterday and then 53 times the day before? Like we don't have to go back that far. It's like a daily thing. But when, they talk about conservative violence, they're like, remember January 6th, 2021? Yeah, that was a long time ago. That's how far back they have to go, because again, we are not the same. But if this is something that you find justified, if this is something that you think is okay, you're on the wrong side of the issues. And if you wonder why people are leaving the Democrat Party in mass numbers, it's because of stuff like this. People who have actual empathy and humanity do not want to be associated with the Democrat Party anymore. So really all that is left on the Democrat side of the aisle are the most unhinged of the unhinged. These are the people that are the most psychologically broken. These are the people who have no morals and no humanity left. Because anybody that does is looking at this and saying, I may not agree with everything Trump and Elon are doing. I may not like everything that conservatives stand for, but this is way too far. Like, I still have morals. I still understand right and wrong. So I am more than willing to go over here and at least listen to what these people have to say than even risk being associated with the people who feel like it's okay to firebomb a company or firebomb somebody's vehicle as a form of protest. That's too far for me. So if you want to know why people are leaving your party, look in the mirror. Anyway, that is all I have for you in this one. I would appreciate you guys if you would hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate you being here. Keep it real, guys, and I will see you in the next one.